out pops a transcendental dreamverse, a remarkable place where the real meets the fantastic. And this vast expanse of imagination has a name. They call it LittleBigPlanet.
It's more than 2 years since LittleBigPlanet introduced Sackboy to the world, and the creativity of the game's community continues to impress. Players aren't just designing new platformer levels, they're creating lots of different gameplay experiences, over 3 million of which will live on in LittleBigPlanet 2. User creations that don't resemble traditional LittleBigPlanet levels are sure to become much more common with the release of Sackboy's sequel. That's because with the superior creation tools that you get this time around, it's much easier to make games that span multiple genres, multiple levels, and even multiple cutscenes. It's a great time to be a LittleBigPlanet creator, and since there are also some solid systems in place to ensure that the best creations are easy to find, there's also never been a better time to be a LittleBigPlanet player. Everyone's a winner. Regardless of what you ultimately hope to get out of LittleBigPlanet 2, the story mode is a great place to start. The world of LittleBigPlanet has come under attack from the evil Negativatron, and only you, and up to 3 of your friends, can save the day. The 30+ story mode levels are incredibly varied, both in terms of gameplay and visual design. One moment you're jumping between moving wooden platforms and swinging from sponges, the next you're riding a bee through a blocky-looking side-scrolling shooter and knocking enemies out of the sky with honey projectiles. Each and every story level serves as an enjoyable showpiece for what the new creation tools are capable of, and they have plenty of replay value if you're interested in finding all of the hidden collectible materials, stickers, Sackboy outfits, and other goodies. Some of these can only be reached if you're playing cooperatively, and while that's a good incentive to get some friends involved, co-op play can get confusing. When the camera zooms out, it can be tricky to tell Sackboys apart, and if players lag too far behind, the camera gives up on them and leaves them for dead. The camera isn't always a problem in co-op play, but your best bet for fun multiplayer is to check out versus games, which, in addition to those being created by users, include unlockable story mode takes on basketball, air hockey, and pool. When you're ready to have a stab at creating a game of your own, you do well to check out some of the new tutorials beforehand, even if you're familiar with the tools from the first game. There's a lot of new stuff now.
There isn't enough room on that carrot for more than 1 or 2 devices. Worryingly, it's not the first time I've ever said that.
The Stephen Fry narrated tutorials do an adequate, if not comprehensive job of explaining things like sackbots, power-ups, and microchips. These are just a few of the new creation tools at your disposal in LittleBigPlanet 2, and their addition is quite literally game-changing. For example, Sackbots are non-player characters that can be customized with different appearances and behaviors. Power-ups are another great addition because, much like the Paintinator gun that was introduced in the LittleBigPlanet Metal Gear Solid expansion pack, they open up so many new possibilities when designing levels. The grappling hook lets you swing from any object that it can grab onto. The Gravinator gloves give you the strength to pick up and throw heavy and dangerous objects. And scuba gear lets you swim underwater without having to seek out oxygen-filled bubbles or come up for air. The most exciting power-up, though, is the Creatonator, a helmet that can be used to fire any projectile that game designers choose, and that includes user-created objects. Want to create a level in which Sackboy puts out fires? Give him a Creatonator that fires a steady stream of water. You can even have the Creatonator launch objects that then fire projectiles of their own. The possibilities are endless. Perhaps the most significant game changer introduced in LittleBigPlanet 2, though, is the Controlinator. A small and unassuming device that, amongst other things, can serve as a seat for Sackboy in vehicular gameplay sequences. More importantly, the Controlinator is used to give players direct control of any object, effectively taking Sackboy out of the equation. Used in conjunction with the new anti-gravity object tweaker, the Controlinator makes it quite easy to create side-scrolling and dual-stick shooters, top-down racing games, and games in which you control nothing but a crosshair and a trigger, to name but a few. If you're a creative type willing to put in some hours testing and iterating upon your designs, there's no reason you can't share games with the LittleBigPlanet 2 community that are good enough for them to come back to again and again. Heck, you might even get asked to make sequels. Of course, not all of the creations that find their way into LittleBigPlanet 2's community area will be very good, or even remotely good. Already, numerous levels are appearing, just as they did for the first game, that serve no purpose other than to unlock trophies for anyone who plays them, while others simply aren't finished. Thankfully, there are some solid systems in place to help you sort the good from the bad, so it's pretty easy to avoid games that you have no interest in playing. Like the series' most prolific creators, LittleBigPlanet 2 is a game that just keeps on giving. That's also true of the first game, but what separates LittleBigPlanet 2 from its predecessor is the sheer variety of games that are being created, and which will no doubt continue to be created for many months to come. This isn't just a superbly presented game that incorporates multiple genres and comes packaged with a powerful creation suite. It's your doorway into a wonderfully charming, vibrant, and ever-changing universe where almost anything is possible. Even if you're not interested in designing and creating games yourself, LittleBigPlanet 2 is not to be missed.
Oh, hello. My name's Clive. Clive Anforth. Welcome to the factory of a better tomorrow.